Sheriff, first of all, are you being unfairly portrayed as being not working with the FBI or cooperating at all?
I'll say this. For someone to say that we're not working with the FBI or that the sheriff is stopping evidence from going up, that's just crazy. That's ludicrous. Why would I not use the FBI and their free services? What's frustrating to me is, as you know, at our press conference, I said, we're done with press conferences. We got a lot of work to do, and so when something significant comes up, we'll be there. So I've been a little silent, and I get it. People are asking more and wanting to know, and I want them to know. But there's a process here that we have to safeguard in this investigation, and you're not going to know everything. But so I kind of ignore the white noise, right? But when you say things that are going to be divisive to our agencies, and I say agencies, I need to step in, because that's not only critical to this case, it's critical to what we do for our community. The relationship between the Sheriff's Department and the FBI is valued, not just by the FBI, not just by the Sheriff's Department, but by this community. We do great work together. We've worked together for decades. We have, I can go back probably 20, 30 years when I was in homicide. We have people assigned to that office, have had for decades, and they have people assigned here. And we have always worked close. Look at Gabby Giffords was a perfect example. Yeah. So for somebody to come out and say the sheriff is stopped, first of all, they just don't know. That's one. Two, it's just crazy. If I may, I'll give you the background on that statement. So it was about some DNA on a glove that Quantico wanted or the FBI wanted, and we said, no, it's coming here. That is so far from the truth of what happened. This case started on Sunday afternoon for us. Yep. By Sunday night, into the early hours Monday, my team had collected all the biological and all the physical evidence at that scene to suggest that, they left stuff there, they did a bad job. That's just ludicrous, and that's an insult to my team. We've processed crime scenes for decades. We understand the rules of evidence and how to protect a crime scene. We left the crime scene because we had everything we saw as evidentiary value. We had county attorneys come out and do those things. The FBI joined us when? Not days later that's been reported. That day. 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock that morning, I was in this office, and my detectives said, tell me what we got. We have all this biological evidence, and we have all this physical evidence. Okay, the physical hard cameras, the cell phones, computers, the FBI does a great job. How do they know that? Because they work with them. They have the resource. Give it to them. We called the FBI, absolutely sure. They took it. We took the biological evidence because we have a lab. We've worked with this lab for decades. And it's a lab that, they're in Florida. I don't know where they were 30, 40 years ago when we hired them, when we contracted with them, because like every lab, they put in a bid for a contract. It's renewed after 2 or 3, 4, whatever the time frame is, and they get that bid. They've been a great lab. If the FBI said, Sheriff, we don't like your lab because of this, we would have had a different conversation. Sure. But it wasn't about that. The FBI is a great lab too. We've used them before. It was simply, we had already sent that evidence in for the markers for the family. We knew, if you have a burglary in your home, God forbid, but we're going to get markers from you and your family. Right. So we have eliminations. And so now we go to a crime scene, or what we believe is a potential scene, on a search warrant up on in Rio Rico. Same thing. We gather all that evidence, it goes to our lab. Now we fast forward to yesterday, day before, a glove is found. There's another thing. There's been no glove ever found at that house or in that property. That glove was found 2 miles away. Somebody called it in as a tip. We would be crazy not to say, go ahead, we don't need it. No, we're going to go out and get it. In fact, since then, we've been widening our search patterns, which is pretty typical in these cases. And in that search, we've gone out almost, 5, 10 miles, and we've found lots of gloves. But we prioritize that. I don't want people to sit there and say, there's a glove, they got too many. No, call us. Right. Let us do. Yeah. So that glove was found. The FBI said, we can send it to Quantico. I said, we could, but here's the thing. all of our DNA evidence is already at our lab. They'd come back with reports. Those reports have been shared with you. In fact, your reports from your lab on the video, it was shared with us. All of that went out. Why would you add a second lab to this? Because now that lab, if they get a marker, say they get a profile, what are they going to do? Call our lab to send stuff over. You've added a step there that's not needed.
Right.
As long as I took to explain this to you,
Yeah.
the FBI and I had this conversation in about 10 seconds. They went, got it, perfect, Sheriff.
Yeah.
That's
Just-
all
yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
So somebody out there, you know, you don't, want to talk about elections and all that, those old people come out of the woodwork. That's white noise. I don't pay attention to that. Elections are good. There'll be another one someday down the road too. That has nothing to do with this. This is about staying focused on finding Nancy. 400 cops are out there right now doing work, hard work. And it's not just today, it is 24/7. Talk about my overtime going through the roof,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It doesn't matter. We're
Right.
not going to hold back money. There's another thing. Oh, it's costing $200,000. The FBI's free. Typically, it could have cost that much if we went through the process we go through with our company, the lab that has a contract. But that lab, like so many corporate America said, Sheriff, whatever you need on this case, it's yours. So
yeah.
it's crazy to some of the stuff came out. I don't know where they come out. I get calls all the time. Hey, can you confirm this, confirm that? I'm not confirming
Yeah.
anybody's news source.
Right.
But this one, I felt like I need to come out and say, hey, don't be divisive. Those FBI teams here locally are great young men and women who are under a lot of pressure too. They have bosses in Washington. Whether I agree with them or like their politics has nothing to do with this because they are bosses. They're their bosses. And they have the right to go to anybody they want or make decisions just like I do. But you know what? I have bosses too.
Yeah.
And it's this community.
Right.
So one more question, okay?
Yeah. Tell me about the DNA evidence that you may have found inside Nancy Guthrie's home that
we
people
have-
are talking about.
Well, we've submitted all our evidence, and we have gotten back results with DNA. That's all I can speak to.
Yeah. And you're then gonna run,
Absolutely.
off of that.
Absolutely.
Off of that.
If we get a suspect, we hope to get a swab and validate it with the DNA.
Are you making progress? Do
You
feel
know,
like you're making progress?
the biggest key right now for me, the biggest piece of evidence right now was that video. That I looked at that, you looked at. People say, oh, they held it for days. We held that video for less than 2 hours. It was just like, and the only reason is you got to send it to Washington, get approvals, all those things here. But we knew that's key. It's got to get out there. And it did, and we generated in an hour's time almost 5,000 tips. You've got over 30-some thousand tips there from between the FBI and us, and it's growing. And that was 2 days ago. It might be 40, 50. We want those. We need those.
Yeah.
That's what keeps us going. I can't say enough. You, the media, my local media particularly, has put a charge into this community to say, we got to find Nancy.
What's your gut? What's your gut feeling about
I think
her?
we're getting closer. I think we're getting, somebody out there knows who this guy is. Somebody out there does. We need that person to tell us, because I think we're getting closer. I wish I could tell you in an hour we're going to have arrest. In 10 days we're going to have arrest. In 10 months we're going to, it could be, we've seen these cases, right, drag on for years actually. I hope not. I hope not. I hope we find Nancy, she's safe and sound, and then we can decide then. Then we can decide, because I won't make that decision. People say, who's in the lead? We are in the lead. We being all of these agencies. We're just trying to find Nancy. Once it's done, we'll take it to the county attorney, the FBI will take it to the U.S. attorney. Those two can decide which way to go with it. They make both simultaneously go. All I'm saying is we don't care about that. We just want to find Nancy.
Can I ask you one last question? And that is, January 11th, we've got word that there may have been another video showing this similar person dressed like that at Nancy's home. Any comment on that?
So I know there's all kinds of video stuff coming in, because that's what we're asking
Yeah.
for, and people are analyzing it and looking at it. I really don't know the dates and stuff, but yes, we put out another ring message today, guys. please, 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 look, 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 don't miss something. Something small. I've heard people saying, oh, we're looking for a truck, or we're looking for a van, or we're looking for a white car. All of those things are probably true. I just don't have the time to get into those weeds.
Yeah.
Every morning, 3 o'clock, that's the thing. They're 24/7 here, and they're 24/7 there in our command post and command post. They're being the FBI. Teams are there, meeting, discussing, working, leads, and yeah, there's no lead too small. Call us on it. Let us work it.
Thank you for the time and good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, Chris.
You bet.